Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Transformation. I am your host. Good evening, welcome to Transformation, our bedtime encouragement time. I am your host, Pamela Jordan. Good evening, and welcome to Transformations Bedtime Encouragement. I am your host, Pamela Jordan. We're here to encourage you as you get ready, prepare to lay down to sleep at night. We're here to uplift, inspire, and provoke you to godly work and inspiration. So I thank each and every one for you of joining this evening on Bedtime Encouragement. We have been talking about for this month of January, our theme has been relationships, and we have been talking about just different aspects of relationships, dating relationships, personal relationships, just all kinds of relationships. So tonight we're going to continue on with our theme about relationships, and we're going to jump right into our scripture as we do every evening. And I'm going to be coming from Ephesians, the 6th chapter, and we're going to be at the 4th verse. Right? Where are we going with that? But it is part of relationship, and it's a very important part of relationship, especially when it comes to women. A lot of us out there, you may not have a father. He may have passed away. You may not even know who your dad is. You may not never had a relationship with your father. That is okay, because a daddy-daughter relationship is very important. Even if you have young girls now, if you have your own daughter, the dads may not be around and may not be in their life. And that is okay too, because there's someone out there, as I would say, is a surrogate dad. It could be an uncle, it could be a big brother, it could be a grandfather, it could be your pastor, or one of the deacons at the church, or one of the brothers in your fraternity, or something like that, that they become a father figure to your daughter. And that is okay, and that's a part of a daddy-daughter relationship. So we're going to be kind of talking about a little bit of that, and just I go with the dad. That's okay, but you want to make sure that your daughter gets that relationship with her dad. And even those of you that are married, I've been married before. I'm not married now. I'm divorced. But those of you who are married and you have daughters and the husbands are there, that daddy and daughter relationship is very important to the young girls. As I was debating and thinking about the topic, I was thinking about my son. He has 4 girls. Two of them are twins. One of them just had surgery 2 days ago, open heart surgery. And she's doing well, and she's doing wonderful. But I always tell him that, that daddy and daughter relationship is very important. It's very important to spend time with each one of them separately, not always spend together, because each one of them has a different different purpose. Each one of them has a different desire. You're single and you're out there in the dating world, and you're coming across all these crazy guys and stuff. Sometimes it's good to go back and just sit down and talk with your dad and get a little advice and get a little wisdom. It's okay. That is what he's there for, because there's a time now and then. Even as we get older, we still need our dads. We still need that relationship. It is very, very important to have that relationship. For our young girls, ladies, it's important because they need to see their dad. Their dad should be the first person that takes them out on the date. That should be the first person that takes them out on the date. He should set the standard. He should set the bar way high. And a lot of us didn't get that when we were growing up. Some of us, like me, our dad wasn't around. We knew who he was, but he wasn't not there. Some of you parents may have been married together, but dad worked so much he was never in the home because he always working. By the time he got home, you may have been dinner. He should be the first person to give you flowers, not waiting until you start dating and meet a guy. Your dad should set that standard of giving you flowers because you are his little girl, you his little princess. He's to set the bar high, because once he sets that bar high and you start to meet people and you start to go out on dates and you're out there, young ladies and our older women, you're going to set a standard that they're going to have to come up to the level of where your dad is. I always tell my grandbabies the same thing. Set the standard. Set the standard high. If your dad buys you a diamond ring and you meet a guy, his diamond ring needs to be bigger than daddy's diamond ring. You want to set the bar high because that's so important, because your dad set that standard. And he shows and teaches you, and the Bible talks about that the fathers are to train and teach us the word, and teach us the way. And even though some of you may have dads that are not in church, that are not serving the Lord, and they may not have lived the best, because sometimes we can be biased and we can say things out of hurt and anger. But we need your dad. Your dad is there to, when the guys come over, when your daughter start dating, and he comes in, your dad can see, okay, he's a buster. He's not about anything, because he can see that. He can see something that we don't see. So it's important in those aspects of our daughters, of teaching them, and that daddy-daughter relationship is so important. Don't take it away from them. If you're single and you don't have nothing to do with the father, but your child does, your daughter does, let that relationship build. Keep that relationship, because it's so important to her as she goes through her transitions of life. And as we go through our transition of life, we still need that relationship with our dads. It is so important. You may have to sit down and have some candid conversations with your dad that may not be good, but he is the foundation of your life. Many people who have gone away from here with so much wisdom that they could have taught a lot of us if we only asked the question. Don't let your dad pass away without you asking those questions and having that relationship. Don't wait until he dies and get in the casket and now you want to have that conversation. But if he is still living now, we have to kind of get over the things that have happened in the past. The past is the past. We leave it in the past. We ask God for forgiveness. If he forgives us, we should be able to forgive others. I know you're probably saying, well, you don't know what he's done to me. You don't know how he treated my mom. And that's all good and all. But if you want to keep continuing this walk with God, there is a point in your life that you're going to have to forgive and let go and give it to God and move on, because you may be the example that your dad needs to see. So that is so important. My dad has not been in my life for a very long time. I'm going to get you to think and dig a little deeper. If you're holding any animosity towards your father, if you're holding any hurt or anything that he has done in the past towards your dad, don't let it keep going. Take a time and talk about it. Get it out of your system, because you don't want him to pass away and you never showed him that love and y'all never had that conversation. We've all made mistakes. We all have fallen short, and we have to learn how to forgive and let go. The daddy and daughter relationship is so important. I just can't stress it enough how it's so important that, the dads step up and spend time with their daughters. And I believe if a lot of them would step up, we wouldn't have so many young ladies pregnant at an early age. We won't have so much date rape and abuse going important. And to keep that relationship going. Another thing I wanted to share is, set some traditions. Like I tell my son all the time, make your own traditions for you and your girls. If it's taking, one every day birthday and doing something special with them on their birthday to make them feel special, that is so important. Setting traditions is so important. We don't realize when it comes to our children and our girls, as far as the dads, setting some type of tradition where it's just daddy and daughter lunch. Because you start to look forward to that every year. If you and your dad goes to lunch at this time of the year, you begin to look forward because it's just you and dad. And he focuses just on you. You have this conversation with your dad. And you guys can sit and laugh and talk and do those daddy girl things that you don't get to do with your mom. Because the conversation is going to be totally different. The conversation is going to be totally different. Give me a lot of you are waiting for those apologies, as we get older, because you're holding in so much and you need those things from your dad. But you may be the one that have to make the first step. You may be the one that has to go to him and open that door of forgiveness. And as you get older, ladies, you need your dad keep him encouraged. If he's in a nursing home, go see him as much as you can. Build that relationship up with him. If you don't know where he is, pray for him. Send God to him. That soon that you'll be able to see him again, and you guys can pick up and build that relationship together. But as I said, this is just a word of encouragement for those out there listening, those who out there have dads, even those who don't have dads, those who have dads that are missing in action. Just keep yourself encouraged that daddy-daughter relationship is so important. And, find someone to be the surrogate dad. It's okay. It's okay. Find him be the one that gives her first flowers. Let him be the one that shows her how a gentleman is supposed to act in the standards, and let him set them so high. So share this with someone. Share this with a man in your life that has a daughter, your brother that may have a daughter, cousin that may have a daughter, one of the brothers at church. Share these words of encouragement to them that it may encourage you, encourage them to, think about a better daddy-daughter relationship. Because it's so important, from our little ones on up to us grown big girls. The daddy-daughter relationship is so important. Well, I thank each and every one for you joining this evening for Bedtime Encouragement. As always, we try not to keep you long, but I would really enjoy to see your comments down there, how you feel about the conversation. If there's some traditions that you and your dad do, put that down there. Let me know. Even if you haven't talked to your dad, they only can do with what they have and how much they know. And sometimes they don't know enough. So sometimes we just have to, I thank you, Dad, for being the best dad you could be with the little bit that you had. You did your best. And I thank you for that. So just want to encourage you, each and every one. Like I said, I thank you for joining me for Bedtime Encouragement. This month we've been talking about relationships. So just keep tuning in. Tomorrow night we may be talking about brother and sister relationships. So if you have a brother and your sister and brother and sister relationship, I really would love for you to join us tomorrow night. Put your comments down there. Let me know how your brother and sister relationship is, and bless someone. So thank each and every one for joining us tonight. Hope to see you guys tomorrow night. God bless you. Love you all. Be encouraged and enjoy a wonderful, peaceful night of sleep. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.